the National Human Rights Commission of Mongolia, European Union, Mongolian Women's Federation. Empowering assistant herders through human rights training and herders self-help groups. Project presents. Co-founded by the European Union and the National Human Rights Commission of Mongolia, empowering assistant herders through human rights training and herders self-help groups. Project is being implemented for the project target group of over 120 assistant herders in 12 SOMs of 4 IMACs. Mongolian Women Federation has been the project's co-partner and making its contribution to successful implementation. Here, to empower means to support. With the support, the herders are expected to become even a little more cognizant of their rights and more self-confident and change their attitude towards life and work, thus knowing where and who to turn to if their rights are violated and the basics of how to sign a contract with a principal herder. To reach these goals, National Human Rights Commission of Mongolia has conducted capacity building training for target group and Mongolian Women Federation, study on socioeconomic status of assistant herders and implementation of their human rights, awareness-raising activities, and policy and regulatory recommendations is part of the project. The project focuses on the following main areas: Women for Human Rights Education, training of trainer certification program for local councils of Mongolian Women Federation and its local women councils, training of trainer certification program for Mongolian Women Federation and its local councils have been successfully completed 2 specific training courses on 7 specific topics such as Constitution and Guarantee of Human Rights, Gender and Human Rights, Protection of Child Rights, Right to Child Education, Rights to get medical services and health protection, Rights to participation, Employment rights, Rights of disabled and other participants were awarded with a certificate. They are now conducting human rights training for assistant herders in target SOMs. This will have a long-term effect on the human rights situation in rural Mongolia. A total of 144 upskilled Mongolian Women Federation local representatives trained on human rights, and they are now capable to conduct future training on human rights issues using the Training of Trainers Handbook. Moreover, training of the trainers' handbooks have been developed, edited, and printed out further. An additional 300 copies were distributed to the rest 248 SOMs and 17 IMACs, Mongolian Women Federation local councils. Tailored training module for assistant herders, human rights and personal development for assistant herders. Pilot training for assistant herders on the topics such as basics of human rights, child rights, gender and human rights, employment rights, organized from February to March 2022 in some centers. A workshop for assistant herders on the topics such as lodging complaint to government bodies and officials, personal development and livelihood improvement via the herders' community groups. Rights of participation is scheduled to be organized in IMAC centers from May to June 2022. A specific study on socioeconomic situation and human rights implementation of assistant herders was carried out in the selected 18 SOMs of 6 IMACs to look into the socioeconomic and human rights situation and civil status of assistant herders and problems in labor relations between chief and assistant herders, to analyze the division of labor, working time, wage, bonus structure, and their family social security and welfare assistance, and the implementation of their rights to receive education and healthcare services, work, get information, and submit petitions or complaints to the state organs and public officials, and have those processed by them, to improve the regulation of these relations and to develop recommendations for future policies and regulations, communication and visibility actions. All the project activities were broadcasted through central and local TV and radio, as well as websites of National Human Rights Commission of Mongolia, Mongolian Women Federation, and quarterly info sheets of National Human Rights Commission of Mongolia for general public, target groups, local administration, and other stakeholders. A total of 750 project brochure and 2 series of Mongolian National Human Rights Commission's info sheet were disseminated to NHRCM's local staff, Targ Timex administration officials and staff, Mongolia Women Federation's central and local representatives, ministries and agencies staff, donor agencies managers and project staff, patron and assistant herders, and their family members, local NGO, and central and local media representatives as well. The project's media work included a project brochure, interview, meeting with Journalists Club for Human Rights, NHRCM's info sheet, and printed training of the trainer handbook, etc. Project information has been placed at NHRCM's and IRIM website, as well through a project Facebook page, Empowering Assistant Herders. Also, a short video was made for EU Day in Mongolia. A successful story of an assistant herder has been published in EU Project Stories. Database of assistant herders and work with local administration support groups were established in target zones for smooth coordination with local authorities for better results.
The approach of the project is a real bottom-up approach to have interviews with all herders, try to see what the needs are from the assistant herder side is the right approach, and to have them involved in the decision making at first on the draft law itself. I think that was the really right approach. And with this approach probably takes a bit more time, but at the end I'm sure you have better results, more tangible results.